What is up, everybody? Welcome back. We are on the road. I had to drive an hour and a half to go see the greatest comic book collection I have ever seen. And man, it was worth the trip. Gas prices are absolutely ridiculous right now. So I was kind of like, is this going to be worth it? Because man, I want to see something awesome. The reason we went up there was because I had a large amount of comics that I was wanting to sell as far as bulk, just try to get what I could for it. So that's what you're seeing here. And then I was told that there was a huge Star Wars collection, a Dark Horse Star Wars collection. So I was very, very interested in that. This is from my buddy who, if you guys watched one of my previous videos where we saw those 40 long boxes, it's the same collection. So when I get there, I come into this room and I see this. So when I first got there, I asked him, I said, can I film? And he kind of hesitated. And I was kind of concerned that I wasn't going to be able to film this. Well, my fears were alleviated, and I started seeing what you guys are seeing now. This is incredible. This was his modern room, air quotation marks, which I was like, what does that mean, a modern room? That means there's more. So these are just the books that he thought were just okay. He has these extremely nice cases. I don't know what you would call these, but these things are nice. They're sturdy. They're solid. And these little glass, little shelving doors lift up and then slide in. You see these in like businesses. I think like legal practices have these. These are very nice, great option for displaying your books. This was kind of in his garage area / like downstairs basement. So this was an area that he was able to, keep it clean, keep it dry. He took me upstairs, and then he had another room where he just had a few like Uncle Scrooge books, gold key books. And then we went into this room. This was the most impressive thing I had ever seen. And to be honest with you, it was a little overwhelming. When we go in here, I'm looking at these things and I'm like, oh man, this is on another level. So right here you're seeing some war books. He's recently got into that. He started picking up some war books. He's got a nice little display here. And this was kind of his DC side. So a lot of this stuff, I don't even know what it is. I'm just going to be very honest because this is on another level. This makes my collection feel kind of sad compared to this. I mean, there is levels to this stuff, and this guy is on another level. Here's all his Justice League stuff. You guys saw probably first appearance of the Justice League, bunch of World's Finest. There's first Parasite, and then they had this Batman case. Like, are you kidding me? Like, graded 3.0, 4.0s, like first Mr. Freeze, early Detective Comics, that Detective Comics with that the Batman book with the Gatling gun. I loved that. And then he had a spinner rack, and just like first Dead Man was on this, and like first Juggernaut when he spins this around, it's like, are you kidding me? Like, these are books, like these are wall books for me. These are like spinner rack books for him. He was really excited to show the stuff. Like, I was saying in the beginning, I thought he was going to be kind of tentative to let me film in there, and man, I'm glad he did, because I wanted you guys to be able to see this. But once we got going, he started like pulling out books and like wanting to show me stuff, and I was like, oh my god, this is awesome. So this is like, he's got Good Girl art. You see that Archie? That's a classic cover. There's EC horror in here. He's going to bring those out here in a minute. I mean, like, these are like golden age, just crazy books, like Strange Tales, old books, Tales to Astonish, Tales to Suspense, like all the Tales books. And then this was his Marvel area, which was small compared to his other, but he has a complete run of the Avengers, no big deal. Avengers 1 through whatever. First Night Nurse, you got first Daredevil, all kinds of classic ASM books, first Ghost Rider, first Blade, there's Hulk 181, first Iron Man. I mean, he's got the good stuff, big stuff. Now, he rotates these books out, because one of the things you might notice is there was some light, some glare coming in. He says he rotates these books out because my biggest concern is UV light getting in there and hitting these things. He's one of these guys that, you got all these books, you got all these treasures in a long box, you don't get to enjoy them. These are some more slabs he brought out, and I was like, oh my God, are you kidding me? There's more slabs. Action Comics books, old All-Star comics, fun comics. I think he had some sensation comics. I mean, just crazy Golden Age stuff, and it just kept coming. Superman, he wasn't really a graded book guy, and I asked him, I said, why aren't you grading some of these other like major keys? Sorry for my finger on the lens there. Why aren't you grading these like major keys? He said, I know this will sound weird, but I like to smell the books. And honestly, that doesn't sound weird at all, because if you're a comic book guy or girl, you know that comic book smell. There's nothing like old comic book smell. He kept bringing them out, man. More EC horror, more books, Vault of Horror, just like stuff. I don't even know what this stuff is. I mean, Haunt of Fear, like just EC horror. I mean, 10-cent books. Crazy art on these books. Just totally out of my wheelhouse. It was honestly, like, I had a couple moments up in there where I felt like a little bit of anxiety, because I was like, I don't know if I'll ever achieve this, or I'll ever like get to this point. Not to say that I need to. It's just like, man, this is like on another level. Like, it's just, I know I keep saying that, but it was like, damn, like this is a crazy collection. So jumping around here, once I left there, I actually went to this really cool shop, and I want to shout this shop out. It's called the Boardroom, and what they have in the Boardroom is craft beer, Magic the Gathering, collectible cards, and comic books. So it was literally all my favorite things in one place. God, I wish I lived closer to this area, because I'd be there all the time. Actually ended up getting a few new issues. Got some Something's Killing the Children to catch me up on that run, and then some TMNT, The Last Ronin, issue 5. I didn't pick that up. All right, everybody, so we're back from the trip. What an absolutely incredible collection, spanning from the 40s, 50s. I mean, he had absolutely everything from every age. It was incredible. To amass that kind of collection, I mean, it's possible, I think, for sure. But, I mean, you have to get a little bit lucky to even find stuff like that, because the more time goes, every day it gets farther from that time period, more of those books get thrown away, more of those books get damaged, more of those books are just impossible to find. So I'm super happy for him, super happy for his collection. And I kind of asked him a question, and I actually did a video about this, is what's your end game with all this? Like, I mean, he definitely had an incredible collection, and he might have been maybe a little taken back by that question, maybe never even considered it, because I know a lot of people that I reached out to from that video really hadn't considered it. They're just along for the ride. But when you have something like that, I mean, you've got to have a plan. So he kind of talked to me. He said there was a younger guy in his family that he he knew about some comics, and he knew that they had value, and he knew their importance. So that made me feel better that there was at least somebody out there that knew what this guy had, because just the thought of him not passing that to somebody who would appreciate it or not know what it is, it's like, oh my God, I couldn't handle that. That kind of collection, it's like, is that what I'm trying to get to? Is that what you should try to get to? Is that like the mountaintop type of collection? Like, I don't know. I think definitely people, there's Batman collectors, there's Spider-Man collectors, there's Thor collectors, there's guys that kind of distill it down and, collect one thing. That's definitely a route. There's modern guys that are super modern guys with the variant covers and things like that. That's another route. There's the catch-all people, which I would consider myself that. Obviously, I lean a little bit towards keys and runs of certain titles, but I don't know necessarily if I want to build. I mean, obviously, I want that collection. I would love to have that collection, but is that something that I'm shooting towards? I don't know. Maybe one day I'll get bored with the modern, the Copper Age and, the Bronze Age and Silver Age. But man, so many books in that era, the Silver Age, Bronze Age. I mean, there's so many more books in that era that I'd like to have, that I want to collect. To dive into that Golden Age, financially, I don't think that's possible for me. I think the only way that that's going to happen is through time. Like if I continue to do this, if I continue to collect 20 years, 30 years, maybe I will have some of those books, but I don't know. Guys, what do you think? Do you think that that's achievable? Do you think it's attainable to get those type of books just strictly paying cash, paying out to get those kind of books? Let me know. If at any point in time you like this video, give it the thumbs up. And if you like this video, subscribe for more. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Take care.